This is the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney with a quick check on what's going on. So here's my man to get into it.
Thanks for listening. I appreciate it. Let's see. Lots going on in the world, but we'll ignore the bad stuff. And now Christmas ads, though. Already playing. Christmas music, too. Sneaking into playlists already. You know, it's like marketers try to skip us right over Thanksgiving, and we haven't really talked much about Halloween, you know, our annual cosplay celebration. Oh, but we have it covered in this episode.
My favorite stories of the day.
Yeah, we're all over Halloween this time. And here's a Grinch, though, who tried to steal it. From this family in West Seattle, where KIRO 7 News is reporting some hater was caught on neighbor surveillance video late last Monday night, early Tuesday morning, walking up to a front yard's Halloween setup of a casket, spiders, cobwebs, skeletons, even a skeleton with an afro wig that's supposed to be the late TV painter Bob Ross, and took Bob Ross, threw it in the casket that he kicked over there, and set it all on fire. Then started tossing more decorations on the blaze, you know, like a bonfire, before setting a second blaze. KIRO TV went to that street, talked with everybody. A neighbor ran out, started yelling at the Halloween hater, chased him off, and then ran out with a pot of water and an extinguisher. A couple of neighbors did. They all put it out. Those fires were burning close to the woman's home, but only damage to the shrubs, fence, and the display, and Bob Ross's afro wig. Neighbors actually pitched in to buy another wig and more spooky stuff. One kid painted something. Nice neighborhood. Sort of like Whoville, while cops look for the Halloween Grinch here. And her display was the only one torched, so maybe the arsonist had something against her, or Bob Ross. Also last Monday night, but north of Dallas in Plano, Texas, is where folks were inside a Spirit Halloween store shopping for costumes and maybe some yard displays that hopefully no one else would want to burn down, when everybody's attention in the store went from looking for whatever they were looking for to looking at this monkey running around, climbing poles, swinging from wires. NBC5 in DFW is reporting kids got excited, started chasing. That monkey spent over 30 minutes swinging from rafters, literally, because it got up on the ceiling beams. It was somebody's pet, which was obvious from the diaper the little monkey was wearing, and the owner later said it got spooked by one of the animatronic displays that came to life in the store. That's the Halloween spirit. The store actually called police for this, who came out and ended up coaxing the monkey down from the ceiling with a cookie. No harm, no foul, just a pet monkey in a Halloween spirit getting spooked at Spirit Halloween. And speaking of fright, a woman in the southwest corner of Kentucky in Hopkinsville went outside last Wednesday night to pick up the package she was expecting to be delivered. Now, NBC affiliate Lex 18 News is reporting the woman figured it was the medication that she ordered, so brought it in the house and opened the package and
I saw you with the box. What was in the box?
Probably dropped it or at least moved back like Morgan Freeman did in the movie Seven, and then wondered, why are there fingers and human arms in this box? Yeah, hopefully the drugs she was waiting on are not for anxiety. Yeah, a box full of arms and fingers. This woman did get to the bottom of this mix-up. Lex 18 is saying she found out either the airline, freight company, or the courier mixed up her box of meds with a box of body parts headed to some medical school or classroom for training purposes. So hopefully she got her meds by now, but the local county coroner had to go to this woman's home to pick up that box of fingers and arms, which one would think would be bigger than a box of medication and would surely have a different sound and feel if shaken. So maybe this is a good reminder to check the address info on the box before opening, you know, if not the kind who likes surprises. Well, hopefully the 71-year-old man in Palo Alto, California likes surprises, because CBS News is reporting he got one last Sunday. That's when they say he left home that morning, but then when he got home, some dude was just sitting at his kitchen table drinking a glass of wine. His wine, no less. CBS is saying he told the guy at that point to leave, and he did, but then called police while he looked around the house and then saw the guy did go through his stuff. Now, Palo Alto cops say they went to the neighborhood and caught him. And here's an example of where the charges may explain a lot. Because, they booked this 31-year-old guy on felony burglary, but also drug paraphernalia, possession, and battery on a police officer, since they say he spit on one. And the mugshot of him also speaking in 1,000 words. CBS posted it, had him staring off in the distance, sort of like those old school portrait poses, but in his case with bewilderment in the guy's glazed gaze. And then in upstate New York's city of Utica, a 21-year-old woman is the latest to forget or not care that surveillance cameras are everywhere nowadays, because the CNY Central News site is reporting she was mad enough at somebody to get caught on video scratching up a vehicle with something sharp, but then covering it in ketchup, mustard, mayonnaise, and eggs. Went down the condiment aisle on whoever's car this is, and cops say this happened back in August, but just arrested her the Monday before last on a criminal mischief charge. For mistreating groceries like that, food prices are not cheap enough for all that drama. Back in a moment, but before we break, the Jams podcast had a nice mix this past weekend.
Blazing the best hip-hop, R&B, reggae, soca.
You can get the Jams podcast mix on Amazon Music, Audible, iHeart, Apple Podcasts, and Deezer. Download the podcast for free.
It's Jams Hour Mix with Greg H.
Time for a peaceful moment.
Oh! And what happened, sweetie? What happened?
Thank you for joining in this moment.
Your finger is frying with the fish.
And now for the world around us.
Around 4:30 last Wednesday morning in Guelph, Ontario, it's about an hour north of Toronto. So the morning before, the Blue Jays beat the Dodgers and then went up 3-2 at that point in the World Series. And Toronto fans were all giddy with hope and excitement at that point. Somebody at that point, that Wednesday morning, stole a refrigerated trailer with $80,000 worth of whipped cream inside. CTV News is reporting there were 30 pallets of whipped cream in that trailer. Somebody pulled up to in a rig, hooked up, and carried off all that whipped cream on the black market. And just last month, I ran a story here on Real Pod about 2 tractor trailers stolen in Ontario with about $35,000 worth of salsa and dips. And CTV is saying 2 other trailers were stolen within the past 4 months with whiskey and beer in them. Salsa dips, now whipped cream. Somebody's been having a big non-stop party, and we just don't know. That's what it sounds like. On the English language international news site DW, there's a story translated from Germany's Press Portal newspaper reporting on this drunk guy in the southern city of Swabish. I heard a German pronounce it. It was just hard to pronounce. Well, anyway, this drunk guy called police on himself because he needed help. Police wrote up a statement on this, translated by DW, which said the guy called late last Wednesday night, around 11, and told the operator he did not know where he was, but knew where he had been, which was at a pub. But now he was hurt and needed help. Now, it did not take long for police to solve this mystery, since they soon found out the 28-year-old guy was so drunk he had fallen from the local pub's window and down into a butcher shop courtyard next door. It was closed, but down next door. Now, officers say by the time they got there, he had gotten inside the butcher shop and grabbed 2 cold sausages and ate them. An ambulance came, took the drunk dude to a nearby clinic for treatment. No charges at this point. The article says police are looking into it, but did not say if the butcher will be reimbursed for the 2 sausages and the damage from some drunk dude falling through his pigeon net and then breaking into his shop. Back in
About to caress your tush. Rosy bathroom rolls, because your butt deserves it.
Available nowhere. A relationship can sometimes require patience. But when patience is just not enough, try Sibanac. This chewable gummy with the ingredient tetrahydrocannabinol will relax your nerves. Sibanac. Turn those sounds out of her mouth into a soothing stream of gentle assurances and appreciation.
What's up with what's going down, though?
Yeah, because anyone who has been on a roller coaster or two should know to keep their mouth closed, unless they don't care what could fly into it. But should we blame the amusement park if something besides air smacks us in the face? Is the very question at the heart of a lawsuit from a woman who is not all that happy with a duck that hit her in the face before she could duck while on the Mako coaster ride at SeaWorld down in Florida. Yeah, she says it knocked her out cold back in March. So WFTV9 in Orlando is reporting she's asking for $50,000 in the lawsuit that she filed last Monday, arguing SeaWorld should have warned about the danger of ducks. SeaWorld's legal team did not talk with WFTV, yet the woman's attorneys are talking for sure, claiming the ride is in a zone of danger since water is nearby, meaning birds may fly nearby. Yeah, WFTV is reporting the park's Mako roller coaster has been the subject of lawsuits before over flying objects, but said a duck doinking somebody is a first. No word, by the way, on whether that bird survived or was hurt. So should an amusement park be held responsible for bird brains flying in a ride's path? Interesting question, because if the courts say yes, parks may have to come up with interesting answers.
Now, my nose was so wide open, I said, okay, baby. Although I didn't believe in working, I'd never worked. I'd always had women take care of me. But I went on and found me a job. But one night, my job sent me home real early. And I had a strange feeling. So before I went to the house, I knocked on the door. I went to my trunk, looked next to my Bible, and got my 44. I walk out in my house and I hear all this noise going down in the back, things falling off the walls and stuff. And I hear something like my woman, Nanette Lee, back there saying, keep doing what you're doing, 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 keep doing what you're doing, what?
And that'll do it for another Real Pod newscast. Really appreciate the support and listening. Please also be a friend on the socials. The show has pages up, posting clips and other goodies, song credits on Real Pod's Facebook page and the new and improved website has more show background info. Marty will give the site in a sec. Have a great rest of the week. Back on Friday.
This has been the Real Pod Newscast with Levon Putney from Show Enough Productions. And for more, hit up the website, realpodnewscast.com. That's real with 2 E's. This is Big Daddy Marty Allen. Thanks for listening.
Kicked this coffin down and dragged the Bob Ross skeleton into it, set Bob Ross on fire.
Show enough.